That was a bad game, and that's a terrible way to lose the game. Raptors lose to the Charlotte Hornets 99-96. The Raptors lose on the final possession where Rondae Hollis-Jefferson fouls Terry Rozier, knocks him to the ground prior to the ball getting inbounded, gives them free throws, and then Rozier hits one. They get the ball back, and they had to foul him again with 2.1 seconds left. The Raptors had a foul, and then it led to a 3-point deficit. Not many plays you can drop with that much, that less time on the board, and the problem was the Raptors don't have that many 3-point shooters right now. No Fred VanVleet in this game. No Serge Ibaka in this game. Norman Powell does return for the Raptors, and Patrick McCaw makes his return. But, you know what? To say the Raptors had multiple options to score in this game would be a lie. Pascal Siakam, he's not hitting the ball, not shooting the ball the greatest. And then Norman Powell, he came back. You expected a little rust, and he didn't shoot the ball efficiently, but he did drop 22 points. He took the final shot, a fadeaway 3 on the sidelines, and it barely grazed rim. So the Raptors lose to the Hornets. Just saying that is kind of embarrassing right there, especially when the Raptors were at home. Just an ugly game. The Raptors started this game off on a chaotic pace. Both teams just running back and forth. There was 3-on-2s and 4-on-3 plays. Just no one had their set defense on both sides because both teams just flying back and forth. And it didn't really lead to any good possessions and good shots. And you know what? That was kind of the tail of the game because there was no rhythm for the Raptors offensively. And defensively, they didn't do a good job either. Because the Hornets were getting pretty much what they wanted, and they got some good looks. They could have made this game a lot more difficult for the Raptors, but they missed a lot of shots. But the Raptors, they could not score inside at all. With no Ibaka and no Marc Gasol still, the Raptors had no inside presence, and everything was from the perimeter. Whether it was Norman Powell shooting a 3, OG shooting a 3, Lowry, Pascal wasn't really getting inside at all until the second half. In that third quarter, he had 14 points, but relatively he was settling for the outside shot, and he's not the greatest perimeter shooter at the moment, and he didn't shoot the ball well tonight. But in that third quarter, he started getting into the lane, getting into the passing lane, and into the paint, and he started doing damage there. OG was great defensively in this game, 6 steals, was really contributing on both the offensive end and defensive end tonight. He's one of your better players, probably the second or third best player tonight. Kyle Lowry had a terrible game for most of this game, and all his passes to his players, they were not making it until the last few moments of the fourth quarter. Kyle Lowry started catching fire and hitting some deep shots. I think he reeled off 9 or 12 points in that final quarter and got the Raptors into the lead and cut that deficit big time, because the Raptors were down by at least 10 or 13 down the stretch, but Lowry and his big shot making was clutch. And the Raptors had a temporary lead, but Miles Bridges hit some threes and Rozier hit some threes, and the game just kept going back and forth. Each team had an answer for what the other team was doing. This was a game the Raptors kind of didn't deserve to win. They didn't play their A game, they didn't play their B game. It was tough to say they even played their C game in this one because it didn't look like a normal Raptors team. I know you're undermanned. No Ibaka, no Gasol, no Fred VanVleet. And it really showed because when Kyle Lowry sits down, it's usually VanVleet that runs the offense. But with Pascal Siakam having to run the offense, he wasn't really playmaking as much as I thought he would. And there's not really a big man for him to drop it off. So he kind of struggled in that aspect. But also, guys were not making shots. The Raptors took tons of shots compared to the Charlotte Hornets, but still couldn't make them. The Raptors forced 17 turnovers to the Hornets, and the Raptors only committed 5. So you had the huge disparity there. But the Hornets responded by dominating the glass. With Raptors having absolutely no big men in the middle, they pounded the Raptors on the glass, especially Bismack Biyombo, the ex-Raptor, dominated the glass. He made Chris Boucher look like he was like 6 feet tall. He just dominated him, pushed him out of the way, got on the offensive rebounds, dunked it, and then there was this one play where I couldn't believe what I saw. Just Bismack was by himself in the middle, under the rim, for like 2 seconds. Anybody in the paint, close. I don't know what happened. Chris Boucher just lost sight of him or something. But after that play, Nick Nurse is like, screw this. Benched him for Rondae Hollis-Jefferson. But that didn't help because you're undersized now. And to be honest, Rondae didn't have a good game. He couldn't score at all. He tried going one-on-one against Bismack with his speed and everything, but that didn't work either. He just didn't have much advantages tonight because Pascal got doubled. Lowry wasn't shooting the ball well. Norm came back, dropped 22 points, which was solid for him. But he still needs to get back into a rhythm. And he tried playmaking as well, but guys were just not making the shots. McCaw, 0 for 6. Terrence Davis had a subpar game. Thomas had a subpar game. It's tough to find any good highlights in this game for the Raptors-wise, but it's one of those games where you're just frustrated to watch. It's 2 games in a row the Raptors lose at home. And now they're going to travel on the road, so it's going to be even tougher to get those wins now. My takeaways from today was no playmaking from anybody other than Kyle Lowry tonight. You had 15 more shots taken and 4 more free throws, yet you lost the game. Injuries, I definitely understand that they're killing you, especially from the playmaking aspect and the inside presence. But you got to beat the Hornets. The Hornets are a terrible team. And you have 2 All-Stars and you still couldn't win. Come on, Nick Nurse. You got to somehow get your guys going, fired up, and play better. You tried telling them to push the pace, but that just wasn't happening enough. And Raptors just couldn't score. The 4th reason I say is it was a poor foul by Rondae Hollis-Jefferson on Terry Rozier. You got to know time and place. Yes, they were allowing them to be a little physical during this game, but Rozier did sell it, and you can't risk something like that. Plus, Kyle Lowry split 2 pairs of free throws in the final 2 minutes, 3 minutes of the game. That was kind of the deciding factor right there because the Raptors really needed all of those. He was 8 for 10 from the free throw line, but if he made just one of them, could have been a different situation. Tough loss. Otherwise, guys, make sure you guys smash that like button, like, share, and subscribe to the Raptors Wrap-Up. Hopefully, we bounce back to the next game, guys, because we can't let Boston catch up with Tatum catching on fire, and he's playing out of his mind. They might try to take that second seed if the Raptors start lollygagging a lot. Until next time.